The Arduino project by me, Joshua Milliken. So the good news is, it works! Now, let's go over my made-up criteria. Well, from the start, there's only one project left, and it's kind of a spaceship. It does control two functions by the remote, and the sonar can pick up 3D objects, and the sonar automatically triggers other objects. However, there is only one project. The motor does reset the door and moves it, and again, there's only one project. And it is very visually awesome. So, how this came to fruition. We're supposed to be using the engineering design process, but yeah. Before Corona, I went from this to this. Not very much. In Corona, I spent a lot of time trying to get a door to work. Never worked, never had enough torque, didn't have it set up right. I had to integrate Legos and motors with glue. That was fun. I tried a crank and rod system that never worked at all. I also ended up with this. After finishing every individual part, I started integrating them all together. I think the key word is sporadically. Now, the code. Here's the basic setup for the Arduino code. I'd give a pin a name, define it as an output, give it a conditional statement to act, then turn it on, wait for a second, and turn it off. This done tens of times with many variations. This is what the electrical system looks like. There's an output pin, followed by some resistance such as an LED connected to ground. Sometimes the component required extra voltage, and that was connected, which is also connected to ground. Sometimes, such as with the sonar and the infrared remote, it spat out some output that I let the computer understand. That required a separate input pin on the Arduino. As you can see, the Arduino project can do many things as controlled by the remote. This is the infrared remote code. It takes a separate library that unscrambles all the gibberish from the infrared. Then, when the if statement receives whatever gibberish it's looking for, it takes action. The joystick can have fewer actions, but it can be more variable and can measure how far the joystick is moving. The joystick code works fairly similarly to the infrared code, except its input is the distance that the joystick has moved. The sonar measures the distance by taking the time it takes to bounce off an object and back into the receiver. In my setup, any distance under 50 centimeters, the closer the object is, the louder the buzzer is. When the object gets less than 10 centimeters away, everything turns on.